So, here we are today. Baruch Hashem. We are now holding on Daf Yud Amud Bet 10b. How many lines up?
3 lines from the white line.
3 lines from the lines. We're going to start a little bit back before, just to explain one thing. We said before about Yaakov giving more to Yosef than to the brothers. They went down to Mitzrayim. So Tosfot asks and others ask. Don't we know there's other reasons that they went to Mitzrayim? Brit Ben Abisarim, Avram Avinu. He says, could be that it wouldn't be so bad. Wouldn't have been so bad without the story. I think the Ritvos has a different shot that anyways, there's a kliyakar about this. There's so many different reasons that we went to Mitzrayim. How do they all work together? Tosfos seems to be addressing this partially. A person should always settle in a city that has been settled recently. Since it's pretty new, it has less sin, just simply because there's less time. The Mefarshim say, of course, the primary way to pick a city is by if it has Yirei Shemayim or not. But if you can't find a city filled with Yirei Shemayim, then the next criteria the Meiri says is to look for a place. The newer the place, the less submerged in sin it is. Okay? And also, Hashem only punishes a city when it's nismala'ah hasta'ah, which means it's filled up to the brim. Hashem waits. Even if it's terrible already over here, Hashem waits there, it has to go all here. Hashem has so much patience, erech hapayim. So therefore, the newer the city, the less justice it will have. Shenemar hine na ha'ir hazot krava lanus shama v'hi mitzar. So the Malachim told Lot, everybody knows the story of Lot. Lot lived in Sodom. Hashem destroyed the 5 cities of Sodom. They tell him, Hahara himalet pentisafeh. Run to the mountain. Rashi says the mountain means the great one, Avram Avinu. Okay. Lest you will die. Lot says, do me a favor. I'm going to die if I go to Avram, because Hashem's going to look at me and Avram. He's going to judge me, compare. I'm done. Let me take out the easy way. I want to go. There's a close by city to run there. V'hi mitzar. And it is a fortress, and it is called mitzar. So what do you mean mikrova? Which means that he was just saying the simple facts. He was saying, hey, look, malachim. Listen, there's a close by small city. V'hi mitzar. Tza'ir. Katan. There's a close by city that's small. Over there, let me go to it. North Miami Beach. It's close by and small. Let me go there. That's what he's telling Malachim. They could see it. He doesn't have to tell the Malachim, oh, there's a small nearby city. He means something. He means like this, look. I need to go to a place that's not going to get destroyed. There's a close place. Close means it's been settled at a close time from now, meaning not too long ago. V'hi mitzar, and it's youthful. It's been settled after Sodom. So therefore, if Sodom just reached its max, they're a little bit behind Sodom. So I have some time over there. Reminds you of this week, right? It depends where you're going. You have like 2 days. Every day, every place is 2 days ahead. It's funny. Amar Rabbi Avin, my kara, like that. Should I make one of those jokes? Those things? My kara. What is the kara? Karo? No. You want to see something? You think it's a joke? No. What is the pasuk? T'chsivi malta no shama no. What is the kara? No. You like that? Please do not spread that more than to 12 people, each one of you. Otherwise, it's going to get too far. It's going to get spread too much. Anyways, I don't go for these so much, but I knew you'd appreciate it, Michael. Kara, na.
Where's the Korah now? I don't see it.
My kara. What is the pasuk that teaches you this? That the less averis you should run to a place when everything is falling and being destroyed, run to the youngest place. No. Since he said, Imalita na shama, let me please escape to na. Na is 51. Vishel Sedom 52. Sedom was 52 years old. So there's a pasuk of a kara, a pasuk of na. It's pretty interesting, right?
Yep.
And it's telling you where to run when you're in danger. I know a lot of people would like this one. So maybe it's now. By the way, how do you know it was 52 years old, Sedom? So Rashi has a whole cheshbon here. And I'll say it very short, okay? I'll say it very quickly. Okay. Basically, the people that built the Migdal, the Anshe Dor HaFlaga, they were destroyed. They lived in Bavel. People only lived in Bavel at that point in time. That's the only place lived. From there, remember, they spread, Hashem said, I'm going to spread their language and spread them out to the world. That's where the world got settled, it got spread out. So, they built different cities. Now, Sodom, which was a very large city right out of Bavel, probably since it was so large, it was settled right after that story. Okay? Now, if you figure that story was 52 years before Sodom got destroyed, because at the time that it got built, which was right after Dor HaFlaga, Avraham Avinu was 48 years old. Why 48? Because Avraham Avinu was 48 when Peleg died. If you look at the Psukim, you'll figure it out. The Peleg was his answer, right? Died when Peleg was 48. When Avraham Avinu was 48, Peleg died. And when Peleg died, the pasuk says, that is when Kiviyamav nifliga haaretz. At that time, the world got split. So it means, that's why it was called Peleg. Because after when he died, the world was split. So it means Sodom started being built right when he died. And if you make a simple cheshbon in the psukim, Avraham Avinu was 48. Now, Avraham Avinu separated from Lot and he said, you go to wherever you want and I'll go to wherever you want. He went to Sodom. Now, when did he have Yitzchak? The pasuk says 100. And a year before then, the Malachim came to Avraham. He was 99. They told him, we're going to destroy Sodom. That was one of the things. So he was 48 years old when Sodom was starting to be built, because that's when the Dor HaFlaga happened. And he was 99 years old when it got destroyed. 48 to 99 is 52 years. But the other one is it's 51 years old. So it's 1 year less, so he wants to run there. That's how you learn. You should try to always go to a younger city. Vishalvata. Pretty cool, no? What? No problem. What? Vishalvata. Now, Sodom also had its very nice period in life. It was very relaxed. Every place was relaxed until it hits. There's Psukim in Yechezkel that are mashma like that. Rashi brings in Nitiv layadu ayit lo hidrichuhu. Many Psukim in Eov and Yechezkel. It had serenity. Esrim v'shesh had 26 years of peace. Tichtiv 12 shana avdu. The 5 kings, and one of them was Sodom, they served at Kedor LaOmer, the king of Elam, u'shlosh shana maradu. Ve'abas shana, in the 14th year of the rebellion, they went against them, right? So, 12 and 14 is 26. So until they got captured in war, it was 26 years. כל עיר שגגותיה גבוהים מבית הכנסת לסוף חריבה, שנאמר לרומם את בית אלוקינו להעמיד את חרבותיו. That, in the name of Rav, any city that the rooftops are higher than the Beit HaKnesset will be destroyed at the end. Because it says, לרומם את בית אלוקינו להעמיד את חרבותיו. Which means, they raised the house of Hashem, that's the Beit HaMikdash. Therefore, lahamid et chorvotav. And the end of the pasuk says, "V'latet lanu geder b'Yehuda v'Yerushalayim." That will be a protection, like a fence. If you elevate the Beit HaMikdash, which means if you don't, chas v'shalom, then you won't merit to have a fence that protects you. And that's why, by the way, it's only in the homes, that the homes shouldn't be higher than the Beit HaKnesset. But if you have big buildings and big towers, that's not an isur. Because they don't usually use the roofs of those areas. Today, many say it's also not a problem because our roofs are slanted, so we don't use them. Okay, but if you look at the pictures in Europe, or I think in the Sephardi cities in Syria and Morocco, always the Beit HaKnesset was all the little houses, and then the Beit HaKnesset was the huge Beit HaKnesset in the city. And it's important. And now, Baruch Hashem, people are making shuls like that also. And we should come back to them soon. I caused that the city of Mechaseh shouldn't be destroyed because I forced the citizens of the city not to build their homes higher than the Then the Beit HaKnesset, and Rav Ashi was the Rosh Hashiva there. The Gemara says, but it got destroyed. So the Gemara says, Me'ota aval lo charva. But I prevented that it shouldn't be destroyed from that sin, because if that would have happened, it would have been destroyed a long time ago. It got destroyed from some other reasons later. But at least I prevented it from being destroyed then, from this sin. Another saying of Rabbi Mechasi in the name of Rav Chama bar Guri in the name of Rav. Tachat Yishmael velo tachat Nachri. Rather be under the Arabs. Well, Arabs, I don't know, yeah, Yishmael. The Arabs, and not under the
Work under them.
the Esav.
Better to work under them. No?
I don't know if it means work. It means under their domain, under their jurisdiction, under their dominance. The government.
Doesn't Rashi say work? Be his personal servant?
Yeah, l'shamsha. Yes, Adem shayir l'shem yosef. You're right. So now he says the Nachim are worse. The Adoimim, Esavites are worse than the Yishmaelites. Tachat Nachri v'lo tachat Chabar. Who's Chabar? They're a nation from the Persians. They're extremely violent and worse than even the Edom, the Esav people. Either they're from the Persians or they live amongst the Persians. Tachat Chabar v'lo tachat Talmid Chacham. Better under a Chabar than for a Talmid Chacham, because if you mess up with a Talmid Chacham, then Shemayim takes care of you, and that you don't want. And the Ritva writes, if you're going to try serving a Talmid Chacham all the time, that's going to be your man, you're not going to be able to do a proper job. It's too hard. There's too much fear that you have to have a Talmid Chacham, too much kavod you have to give. And therefore it's very common that the person will be punished. That's his pshat. Because their tears are always found. The Torah says that if they cry out to Hashem because they're being taunted and made fun of or hurt, Hashem will punish very harshly that person. It's known that Reb Chaim Brisker in Brisk had many, many orphans that he took into his home. And the family knew one thing. There was one rule. You don't get near the orphan. He was so careful about this. He didn't even get close to him. Because let's say the orphan wants to get this and then you're in his way. He was so careful with this halacha, he took it to the nth degree. They were like kings in his home. That's how much. Okay. It's, a person would rather suffer mikol choli, from any sickness, v'lo choli me'ayim, and not stomach sicknesses. Rashi says it's a very long sickness which disgraces the man, and it totally wipes him out from any from, that's what choli is, and it wipes him out from strength. So the worst one, take any one but the stomach, the intestinal problems. Kol ke'ev, take any pain. Now pain is less than that. It goes and comes and goes. Rashi says any pain v'lo ke'ev live, like toothache or a wound ache. Rather take any of them than the heartache. Kol mechush is like a small, light pain. V'lo mechush rosh, and not a headache. Kol ra, take any evil v'lo isha ra, and not an evil wife. So the Meiri writes that even though it's important to look into all the yichus, the lineage of a woman and her family, the most important thing is to look at her after her personality and her midot, because a wicked, evil woman causes so much heartache to her husband. All of his days are painful until he gives up hope from all good. And it reminds me of a joke. I'll say it now because we have to have a few jokes, I think, at this time of our life. I think it's important. Yeah, there was a lady who she was known as the most evil, like, witch. She was like a witch almost. She was so horrible. She never got married. Nobody got near her. There was one guy, he was already 45 and he was desperate. Someone said, I don't know. She said, okay, I'll try. He went out and, okay. They got married. He went, they got married. First day of Sheva Brachot, he comes home. After Sheva Brachot, he's thinking during Sheva Brachot, something's wrong here. I mean, there's a lot of things that they say about this lady. I don't see it. Everything's fine. The first day after Shabbat Brachot, he said, maybe, during Shabbat Brachot, she was a little out of it. So many parties. First day after Shabbat, he comes home. She's dressed up for him. Very, very nicely. She pulls out steak, some fried onions and mashed potatoes, a glass of wine. What can I do for you, my husband? Can't believe it. Unbelievable. He mamish can't believe it. They're wrong. Everything. Mamish, a week goes by. She's the nicest midot. Always whatever you want. No, please, you're my husband. She's serving, she's cleaning him, she's polishing his shoes. Mamish, he's in seventh heaven. After he gets comfortable, after a month, he says, I want to talk to you. I have to ask you a question. We're very close already. It's a month. He doesn't know how to say it to him. He says, Lamais, I didn't hear this about you. She goes, what did you hear? He said, I heard some terrible things about you. I didn't trust them. I got married to you, but I heard like terrible midas and things about you. Like, why they say that? Is that true? She said, the Gemara says if you marry a wicked woman, then you'll never see the face of Gehenna. It's the Gemara. She says, you think you're going to get out of Gehenna by marrying me? Oh no. You're going to suffer in Gehenna. You're going to go to Gehenna. Not through me. You suffer. She's making sure she's sending him to Gehenna. That's the Maisa here. So anyways, the Amar Rav Machas Amar Rav Chaim Bar Guya Amar Rav. Im yu kol hayom dayo v'agamim kulmusim v'shamayim yiriot v'chol bnei adam lav levarim ein maspikim l'chtov chalala shereshut. If all the oceans would be ink and all the swamps, the rivers would be, and with the reeds inside, would be pens, and the heavens would be parchment, v'chol bnei adam lav, and all people would be scribes. Ein maspikim l'chtov chalala shereshut. You wouldn't be able to describe the depth, the breadth, and the scope of the government. Because the king has to hear this Gemara, Michael. I thought you were going to love this Gemara. Has to worry about so many things: taxes, wage wars, judging his nation, right? And he has to take care of everything. All the cities under his kingdom. It's impossible to try to fathom the depth and the breadth and the scope of how much the government and the leader has to take upon. And I see they bring down different pshat over here. The Meiri says that's why you should always be down the kafschut, even if you see them making mistakes. You should judge them in favor. And another thing, you should pray for them, especially now. It's a point where they have even much more to take care of now. Could you imagine? He has to take all the care of all these things plus what's going on now. The Ran writes that it also means to stay far away from them. Okay? The Sfat Emes writes that this is impossible. Right? It's impossible for human beings to be able to maintain and to really run a kingdom that would need so many people and so much ink to describe. So really, kingship doesn't really belong to anybody but one. The only one that can take care of it. That's Sfat Emes Pshat. It only belongs to Hashem. And only for him it's fitting. Mikra, what's the pasuk? Amar Rabbi Moshe Shamayim larum va'aretz la'omek v'lev melachim en cheker. The depth of the height of the sky and the depth of the earth and the heart of the kings, there is no research. There is no way to fathom any of them. They're too deep, too great. So it compares the heart of the king. Imagine that's what happens to presidents. You see, within 3 years, their hair turns white. Unless you dye it orange, usually by all presidents, the hair turns white. In 3 years, doesn't matter. They look very good on the outside, but it's too much. A ta'anit is good to destroy a bad dream, like fire. Linaoret is what falls off the flax. Okay? Just will burn it away. So we'll get away anything that Chas Shalom had to happen to the person. Amrav Chisda. Ubo bayom. It's only if you fast that day. It's much better than to fast another day. Amrav Yosef, afilu b'Shabbat. You can even do it on Shabbat, even though you're not allowed to. You have to eat on Shabbat, but this is good. But the halacha is that he has to fast another day for missing out on real Oneg Shabbat. And it should really be on Sunday, if you can. Rabbi Shua Breder of Idi Ikla de Ravashi, he visited Ravashi, Avdel de Igla Tilta. They prepared him the third calf, which is the best. Because the first two are not as ripe. The third one is always the best. Amrulei Lita Marmidi. So they said to him, please, master, taste something. Amalur Rabbi Yeshua said, B'ta'anit yativ, I'm sitting in a fast and I can't eat. Okay? Usually you don't tell people you're fasting. Okay? If you have no way out, then he had to say it. A person could borrow money on his tanit and pay it up later. Okay? There's a machloket rishonim how you could do this. Does it mean that a person makes a Kabbalah by mincha, that he's going to fast? But he does a certain amount of fast, but he doesn't say when. So then, he could borrow the next day and not fast. Right? So, others say no, that's even if you say a specific day. Okay? So you're allowed to borrow. Amalahu tanit chalomu. This is not just a fast, just for fasting. This is because of the chalom. So since it's very Shabbat, like Rabbi Yosef taught, therefore I don't want to play around with my fast. I want to do it today. We go back to the Mishnah. What did the Mishnah say? It said that if you start one of these actions, you don't have to stop. But mafsikin l'kriyat shema. But kriyat shema you have to stop for. Okay? You don't have to stop for mincha. So why does it have to say that whole halacha again? Ein mafsikin, avol mafsikin l'kriyat shema. Just say mafsikin l'kriyat shema. Ein mafsikin once you started for Shemona Esrei, that already said in the beginning of the Mishnah. Hatan l'reisha ein mafsikin. So the Gemara answers, Seifa atan l'divrei Torah. The Sefer is teaching you that if a person is learning Torah, he only has to stop learning Torah for Kriyat Shema and not to pray. Okay? The Tanya Chaverim Sheyoskim Torah. Chaverim were very special. Tamid Chacham, they were very makpid in mitzvot. And I don't know if they do it by the Sfaradim, but like by the German Jewry, they call them Chaver. Right? They have that by the Sfaradim too?
Chaverim. No?
A German Jew who is considered a Talmid Chacham, when they call him up for an aliyah, they don't say Rav.
Yeah, they don't
They say Hachover. Hachover.
It's more an Ashkenazim.
Right, because of this Gemara. Chovel. Okay? That they were oisik b'Torah, she'oisik b'Torah, mafstikin l'kriyat shema, ve'ein mafstikin l'tefillah. Okay?
Why Chaver? What's the Chaverim means really friends? What's the meaning of that?
I don't know why they're called Chaverim, these Chashav Talmid Chacham. Could be because the word Chaver means connect. So they're connecting the world or themselves to Hashem, or they're being mechaber the world, everybody else, to Hashem through their learning. I don't know, but maybe that's what it has to do with. I don't know. Okay. We had it this morning with Rabbi Yirmiyah. The Rabbi Zera told him, "Meisir ozna mishma tefillah, gam tfilato toeva." Right, because he was terato umnato. So only those people like Rabbi Shimon Yochai have gone on. I'm sticking the kishma tefillah. We have to stop for everything. He says the Gemara that Tanya Kishem Shem I'm sticking the tefillah kachin I'm sticking the kishma. Just like we don't stop for tefillah, you don't stop for Kriyat Shema. So who is that Braita talking about? If it's talking about the people like Rav Shimon Echai, before we said that they have to stop for Kriyat Shema. Now you're telling me if you don't stop for tefillah, you don't stop for Kriyat Shema. So the Gemara says, Kitani ahibi ibru shana. The Talmid Chacham, they are trying to figure out if they should add a month to the year. The Amar Avad Barahava, v'chein tanu Savei, the old elders, the Hagronya, in a Braita, Amar Rabbi Elazar bar Tzadik, they taught, K'sheyina oski bi b'shana, hashana b'yavnei v'lo'in, mafsikin lo l'kriyat shema v'lo l'tfilah. They would closet themselves up in an attic, and they would figure out if they had to add a month, according to their calculations, right? If it's going to come out the right seasons with the Yom Tovim. And that's why it was such an important decision, because all the Yomim Tovim are going to fall out exactly with what they come out with, that therefore they didn't have to say Kriyat Shema, so they don't ruin the Yomim Tovim. Okay? Let's begin the next Mishnah. Lo יצא החייל ממחתו סמוך לחשיכה. שמא ישכח ויצא. These are a bunch of different enactments that the Chachamim did, that people should not do certain acts, even on Erev Shabbat, so that they show that they don't forget. They might just like lose their mind, like forget about it. And because they did a certain act, and then they space out about it and they forget, they'll end up diverting their mind off that thing and end up being Mechalel Shabbat. So the Chachamim said the tailor shouldn't go out with his needle. Samuch l'chashecha, half an hour before, bein hashmashot. Shema yishchach, lest he will forget that he's carrying it. And he'll end up carrying it in Reshut Rabim, 4 amot. Ve'yetzeh, or from Reshut HaYachid to Reshut Rabim, or the opposite, or 4 amot in Reshut Rabim. Oh, there's water here. I didn't realize. If you don't mind, just mamash 1 second. It's very dry for some reason. Okay. Okay, so, and not the scribe with his pen. That's a bigger chidush. Even though the pen was larger than the needle. So it's harder to forget about it. Still, can't go out. Okay? That's a chidush. That's why I had to say this case too. You shouldn't clean his clothing from lice. See what that is in the Gemara. And he shouldn't read by the light of the fire, because we know there's a chashash that if the light is not well lit, he might come to tilt the oil closer to the wick so it has a better light, and that's the isur of this week's parasha. First isur of Shabbat. Lo teva'aru esh b'chol mashvatechem b'yom Shabbat. Okay, there we go. באמת אמרו, חזן רואה איך התינוקות קוראים, אבל הוא לא יקרא. The Chazan, Rashi brings two pshatim. First pshat is the one who calls up the 7 people in the Torah, which should Be'ezrat Hashem happen this Shabbat, amen. And he doesn't know what parasha they are. That should not happen this week, amen. But in those days, many of them were Amoratzim, and they didn't know where they're up to, so they used to look at the kids, and the kids were reading from the light, so they could do that, just to see what parasha it's up to. Avalu yikra, but he shouldn't use the Or Haner himself. If he just wants to see what they're reading, it's fine. The other pshat Rashi brings down is the Chazan is actually the one who teaches the children. So he can look by the light where he should start tomorrow, he should end, all that. But he shouldn't actually learn himself from that. Ki yotzebo, similarly, we find another gzeirah that's similar, that a person might forget something and end up transgressing something. It's nothing to do with Shabbat. Lo yachal zav im hazavam teher glavera. A zav shouldn't eat with his wife. A zava is a woman who sees at a certain time of the month, not during the regular time of the month, but she sees one time as a zava ktana, 3 times as a zava gedola, and if he eats together with her, he might come to relations with his wife, and she's asura. This refers to a nida as well. Okay? Now I say a zav, any man with a zava. So a zav, even if he himself is a zav, and it's very uncomfortable for him to have relations, still there's an isur, lest he might fall into it. Tanan hatam. So the Gemara brings now a Mishnah in Erevin, okay, which also describes Gzeirah of the Chachamim of something not to do on Shabbat, because you might divert your attention, forget, and then be over. What's that Mishnah? It says as follows: Lo yamad adam b'shut yachid, yishteh b'shut rabim. A person should not stand in a private domain and drink in the Reshut Rabim. What's he doing wrong? Nothing. Okay? His face is in the Reshut Rabim, and he picks. Okay. I'm in the Reshut Yachid. This is Reshut Rabim. This table here. What did I do wrong now? I didn't bring this in from Reshut Rabim to Reshut Yachid. Okay? So you shouldn't do it anyways. Or B'Reshut Rabim, and put your mouth into the Reshut Yachid, v'yishteh b'Reshut Yachid. Don't do that either. Why not? Because a person might forget and go like this. Oh, it's delicious. You just brought it in. That's Isur Deraita. Aval, however, im ichnis rosho v'rubo lamakom shoteh mutar. If he puts most his head and most of his body in to the other area, that's okay. Either way.
As long as it doesn't move his feet.
What? Even if he doesn't move his feet, which means you could be in the other reshut. If you move your feet, or if you're on the other one, we're not worried you're going to bring it in if you do this whole act. Because then you're not going to normally forget what you're doing. Why are you doing this? Because the Chachamim told you to do this. That's going to remind you, don't bring it in. Okay. V'chein begat. And so too, in a gat. What's a gat? A gat is a wine press. Now, what does that mean? In a wine press as well. So we'll see in a second. Ibaylu, karmelit mai. What's the halacha with a karmelit? Okay? Karmelit is an area that's really a makom petur, midoraita. You could bring it back and forth, midoraita. But the Chachamim said, since it's 4 by 4, and it's a large, fine. Don't carry there, like Reshut Rabim. So you also have this Gzeirah D'Rabanan, that if you want to drink from Reshut Yachid to there, or Reshut Rabim to there, or vice versa, you should have to bend over your whole body, put most of your body in there. I'm going to buy, he, that's it. Same thing. Same Gzeirah. Rava Amar, he gufa Gzeirah, Vanan Nekun V'nig Gzeirah L'Gzeirah. Karmelit itself is only a Gzeirah. We never make a Gzeirah on another Gzeirah. Because the worst that would happen is that he would actually carry it. And what would he be over? Only the Rabbanan. So we're not going to make a Gzeirah on a Gzeirah. Fine. So I'm Rabbi. Rabbi says, you know what? No, I say there is. And you know how I know it? The katani v'chein begat. Because it says here that it applies to a wine press. Now, my gat. Which means, if you want to drink wine from the wine press, lean over. What is a gat? What status is it? Irishut yachid tanina. If you're talking about a gat that's Reshut Yachid, you just said the halacha. Don't go from Reshut Rabim to Reshut Yachid. The Irishut Rabim tanina. Started off lo yamod adam Reshut Yachid v'yishteh Reshut Rabim. And I love Carmelit. It must be that the gat is a new area. It's a Carmelit, and still, it's less than 10 tefachim high, but it's 3 off the ground from the Reshut Rabim, and it's 4 by 4. And still, they're making this gzera. So you see, they made the gzera. So what does Rava answer? Rava says that's not a good proof. Rava Amar, you know what it means? V'chein begat le'inyan maaser. It's not referring to carrying on Shabbat. It just means to compare that you may forget from Shabbat to the halachot of maaser that you may forget. What's the halachot of maaser? V'chein amar Rav Sheshet v'chein begat le'inyan maaser. Titnan. As we learned in a Braita, in a Mishnah in Masot, Shotin alagat ben al-chamim ben al-tzonen. You can drink from the wine in the gat. The gat is the upper part. It didn't fall yet into the pit. They call it not the vat, the wine vat. The wine. There's a word for it. The wine pit. Once it falls into there, it's a gemara melocha. It's the end of its whole process, and now you have a chiyuv. Midoraita, take off maaser, and you cannot drink from it. But if it's still upstairs on the upper part, that's the gat, the wine press. It's not gemar malach. There's only a chiyuv to take off maaser midirabanan. So the dirabanan, they let you have a little snack, as long as you don't have a full meal. It's called derech haroy, not derech keva. So. What is aroy? Aroy is over the gat. Once you remove it from that wine press, okay, then you're not going to really, let's say you take a big jug out of the wine press. You say, I'm just going to have a little bit aroy, not an established meal. You're not going to bring the rest of this back there. You already removed it from the area. So then we're worried that you might have a real keva, and therefore it's astur. So you have to be over the gat. Okay. So therefore, the Mishnah is telling you like this. You want to drink over the gat? Because that way you're ensured that you're only going to have a little bit aroy. Bend over. Just like the halachot for Shabbat. Okay? So you shouldn't come to forget the halacha that you have to drink it over the gat. How are you going to remember? Don't just go over the gat a little bit. Stay bent over the gat. Meaning, I don't know if it's so much bent over. It's most of your body inside. Okay? So, and we see in this Mishnah, Shotin alagat ben al-chamin ben al-tzonen upatur divrei Rabbi Meir. Whether they diluted it with hot water or cold water, you don't have to take off masrot. That's Rabbi Meir, because he says drinking over the gat, even when it's diluted and it's ready. So that seems like you're going to have a real shtiyah keva. Drink over the gat, make a little snack out of it. It's not a problem. Okay? You have to lean over the gat. Okay? Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Tzadok, Michayev. He says, even if you're drinking over the gat, the fact that you diluted it already with water, that already equates your drinking of it as if you're drinking a real meal, a whole complete meal, which is asur. You can't say, well, I'm just going to drink it overnight, I'll even blend up. You diluted it already. That means that it's ready to go. It's ready to have a full meal over it. You have to have the raw stuff. Okay? Yes, maaser. Since masrot, at this point, when it's not yet nigmar melacha, when it hasn't been finished its process, is mutar, it's permitted.
Take the picture so I understand. Is there a tree with grapes?
No. There's a wine press.
Okay.
They would press the wine. There was a vat. Before the wine went downstairs, there was like a lower area where it would fall into. The upper area, that was called the gat, that is still, it's not finished yet. Because everything is still getting filtered and running down the pipes to the bottom.
So it's the process of making the wine.
Exactly.
From grapes to wine?
Exactly. So since the wine has not yet finished, the process hasn't finished, the chiyuv, the obligation of taking off tithing. We're talking about tithing, by the way. I didn't mention that. I said ma'aser. Should have mentioned that, right? Tithing begins midoraita only when it gets down there. Midrabanan, it already starts up here. But since it's only a derabanan obligation, they allowed you to have small amounts of it, as long as you're not really sitting down for an established thing.
Before they make the wine, you could take 10% out of that. Basically, no?
You could, yeah.
According to the Rabbanan,
Because the Rabbanan, you're already mechuyev in masrot, yes.
okay, so what does this have to do with...
So now, you're not allowed to have a real meal with this wine. So you have to drink it over the area that you got it from. Press.
So you can get it on Shabbos, but you can't...
Not Shabbos, not do it Shabbos. That's what Rava is saying, it's nothing to do with Shabbat.
Okay, so stop.
On a Wednesday, you want to drink some of that wine? You can only have a little snack of it. We want to ensure that you only have a snack and don't have a real meal from it, like a real sitting, a real wine drinking, because then it will be astur. To do that, it will be prohibited. You can't partake in a real sitting of wine drinking. It's called an established sitting without tithing it. Since you haven't tithed it yet, you can only have a snack. To ensure that, we tell you drink over the area where you took it. So the Rabbi Meir says, even if it's diluted already and it's ready to be bottled, as long as you're over the gat, it's good. Rabbi Elazar ben Tzadok says, no, once it's diluted, that's already too much of an established meal. That's not a snack, that's real. The Chachamim say, al achamin chayav. If it's diluted with hot water, then you're already obligated in Trumot Masrot, and you cannot al atzonin patur. With the cold water, you're patur, mipnei shu machzir et hamosar, motar. Because if he wants, he can return the leftovers. Okay? You can always return. As long as you can return and pour back some stuff, then we see you as drinking a snack. And we're not worried that you're not going to return it. Once it's heated up with the hot water, no one returns that stuff to the vat. And therefore we're worried that since you're not going to return it, you're going to drink the whole thing and it's going to be a real sitting.
So that's why you can't move it.
That's why you can't drink any of it. Even if you're over the vat.
You can get a taste.
You can get a taste if it's mixed with cold, according to the Chachamim. According to the Meir, even if it's mixed with anything, with cold. According to bent over. According to the Chachamim, bent over, but only with hot. According to Rabbi Eliezer ben Tzadok, bent over when it's not diluted at all. But if it's diluted, you're not going anywhere. Okay? Tanan. In 4 minutes, Rabbatai. Let's try to get somewhere. So now, who made that?
Coming from the higher level of...
What's going on?
Not sure what we just spoke about?
No.
We just spoke about fast. They destroy...
Yeah, but it's nothing to do with dreams. It's about...
No, I'm saying it's the same type of thing.
Yeah? Read that word. Just kidding now.
Wow. Tanan lo yitzeh hayad b'machto samuch lechashecha. Shema yishkach v'yetzei. A person, the chayat shouldn't go out with his. We want to prove from our Mishnah. If Rava, why do you bring this whole thing about Shabbat, forgetting this and that? Because it's similar to our Mishnah. But we had a machloket Abaye and Rava. If the Chachamim, when it comes to Shabbat Isurim, we make an act a gzeira on another gzeira. Meaning Shabbat is so wow that Abaye holds that you you sneezed? Good, stay. Most people kick you out. Over here we tell you to come and learn Torah. Okay? You know what Rabbi Akiva Eiger would do now? It's a story that about he stayed there night. Rabbi Akiva Eiger was the Gadol Ador. The family's eating there. They had a guest. This guest is eating by the Gadol Ador 200 years ago. Rabbi Akiva Eiger, you know what it is? I can't even imagine it. A white tablecloth. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is beautiful for the Seder. And the guy is so nervous. He's like, and he spills a nice amount on the white table, right? The first cup of okay. He's very embarrassed. He told him not to worry about it. 15 minutes later, Rabbi Akiva Eiger pours a second cup. Whoa! Rabbi Akiva Eiger spilled the entire cup over the whole thing. And the guy felt so good the rest of the night. He spilled much more than me, the whole thing. He did it just to shouldn't be embarrassed. So if Rabbi Akiva Eiger was giving the shiur, what would he do? Or your friends here? Sneeze a few times. Okay. So, oh, you remember Reb Zera? Okay, so it says here in the Mishnah, not to go out and tailor with his needle half an hour before Ben Hashmashot because he might forget. The truth will be big. Aren't we speaking about that it's stuck in his, right, in his cloak, whatever it is, which is weird. And therefore, the isur to carry like that would be only a derabanan. Since it's not the normal way to carry something. Therefore, if you carry it in an abnormal fashion, even though you're not allowed to midrabanan, it's only derabanan. Minat Torah, you could. And they're telling you now, don't put that into your shirt half an hour before Shkia on Erev Shabbat, because you might come carry. What's going to happen if I come carry? I'll only be over the Rabbanan.